Hello, comrades! It's Marie from Pender. I've now resurrected this dead series of Marie Reviews. This was an anime that I was going to review in 2019, but huge delays throwing it away to space. Speaking of space, there is time in space. We'll be talking about Chojiku Yosai Macross, or Super Dimension Fortress Macross. That show I put Easter eggs in my previous videos and fan arts if you know what I mean. SDF Macross is a science fiction, musical, romance, and mecha anime from 1982 to 1983, created by Shoji Kawamori, who also created different shows as Division of Escaflowne, Earth Maiden Arjuna, Genesis of Aquarion, and many Macross sequels, and one of the best mecha designers as well in the subgenre of science fiction anime. I've heard of this anime years ago by mostly the US adaptation, which is Robotech. In this review, I'm only going to cover the original Japanese version, the OG Macross, because of uncut scenes that makes more sense and exciting to me. In fact, Macross was the very first anime I watched all the way through in the Japanese dub, despite in my younger years I only watched and cared about the English dub of anime. Now that I said enough, let's fly the Valkyries! Zoom! The plot of the series is an alien ship crash lands on South Italia Island in 1999. Then humanity rebuilds the ship, even though there were political situations. In 2009, they finished rebuilding the ship to do the launching celebration. It was called the Macross. When the ship fires its cannon on its own, it destroys an alien spacecraft in the orbit, which leads to a war between the humans and the human-like alien giants called the Zentradi. For the characters in the series, I'll talk about a few of them in this segment, mostly main characters, because I don't want this review to be like 30 to 40 minutes long, so please don't hurt me on this one. Hikaru Ichiyo, or people with different tastes, Rick Hunter, a talented, humbled, and jovial aerobatic flyer who was invited to the Macross launch ceremony by Rory Fokker, who is a strong-willed fighter pilot and a close friend to him, and considered a senpai to Hikaru. Lin Min-mei, a playful and fun-loving teenage girl who wants to fulfill her dreams to become a star, and Misa Hayashi, a lieutenant from the Macross Bridge, and I'm not very good at describing characters in my own words. We will go deeper in these characters eventually. There's many episodes with the greatest and funny moments that I highlighted, but I can't say much because, again, it will be a very long video if I do it. One episode where Hikaru and Min-mei were stuck in the confines in the Macross, as the water spraying scene and tuna scene when Hikaru ended up only getting the head of the tuna, that I thought he can get the whole thing. And it really shows their friendship with a good start before it goes to the next level. However, they almost about to kiss before being rescued from groups of people being in a artificial world of Macross City. That's a little soon, don't you think? Min-mei and Roy, they convince Hikaru if he can join the UN Spacey military so he can continue flying. So Hikaru accepts, and that's how the story is gonna grow. Just keep on growing. And as for Min-mei, she wins at the Miss Macross beauty pageant and became a pop star, just as Hikaru is now a UN Spacey fighter pilot and has some two wingmans, Max Genius and Hayao KAKIZAKI. My clones is the proto-culture. That's what the Zentradi commander, Verlitwai and Exidol said it, because they don't know anything about human culture. Until they give Hikaru, Misa, and KAKIZAKI an interview by the Supreme Commander, Golg, of what the culture is by mentioning about love between men and women and the word love. The giants were feared when Hikaru and Misa kiss each other. I can't believe they all reacted like that. Like, it's crazy. The funniest episode when Hikaru was dreaming about the previous episodes, but this time more comedic, where the bridge said that he was the Crash King who ride on a bike to the moon. That's one of the funniest scenes ever. And what gets funnier is that, remember Lin Kai-foon, Min-Mei's cousin, who hates the military and does not like Hikaru? Kai-foon was a Zentradi, and when he said, "I'm not a pilot anymore," it kills Kai-foon, and he saves Min-Mei from him. And then what happens next? Min-Mei turns into Misa. Oh my goodness. Like, it's unbelievable. There's another episode with a previous clip, is a clip show, where Global Bruno was talking about the recaps of what happened in the Macross. That's like one of the first ever I've noticed is a filler episode, so people can skip that if they want to. Well, before the wedding begins, Melia, who is one of the female Zentradi troops, Leplamise and Melia were the only two characters who are Zentradi people, are women. Don't see any more women in the Zentradis, just mostly men. She battled with Max personally because she did not like him from the start. How she kept losing. The first time is where the battle between Max, and the second time when they played, Melia and Max played an arcade game, she lost. And the third time, it was a knife battle, and she lost again. But this time, Max spared her life, and then the two falling in love to each other, and then got married. And the best scene of all is when, while they get married, you see all those Valkyries just standing left to right when they hold their guns while they driving through them. And Min-Mei's singing is pretty amazing to listen to. Like My Boyfriend's a Pilot, Xiao Pai Lung, where she stars in a Chinese film with Kai-foon. Zero G Love. I just really love musicals and shows. Her singing has all the Zentradi group began to defect from doing destruction and be good, just like those three spies, which leads to Goal to say it's contamination, destroy him. At the end of the space war, he got destroyed, but is Quan Zim has changed? Of course not. He was so cruel. Like, he captures Min-Mei and Kai-foon, and when all the Zentradis react to Min-Mei's singing again, and this time Quan Zim, it has no effect in him. He really does not like humans. And another scene where Leplamise played Kai-foon like a doll. I guess that goes for the people who hate Kai-foon would really love that, because he was a jerk between the military, even though the military is trying to help. Now we're going to talk about the action. You really gotta love those designs from the planes that transforms into like those standing robots. And they shoot, and fly around. Like the angle and the animation just moves around, like the background begins to move. Really impressive to see from an early 80s anime. Verlitwai hits the Valkyrie. Max disguises a Vertridi just to save Hikaru, Misa, and Kakizaki. And then Hikaru holds a giant gun and shoots the Zentradis. Oh my gosh, that is so bad. Not in a bad way, in a good way. Like that just kicks so much.
tell, he is listening to 96 Leaf songs. That's right. Go check out 96 Leaf.
Ah, don't you love it when you hear birds chirping?
Now we're going to talk about the tragedies. It's where Roy dies after playing a guitar. This is one of the scenes that I really don't get as much. Before that happened, it was guys reacting to the plane inside and then they all gasped. Like, I wonder, how did he die while he was finishing the battle? Like, he was all okay and then he died all of a sudden from internal pain, which I just find it ambiguous. And the other tragedy scene is where KAKIZAKI dies from an explosion. Now we're going to get to the love triangles. Hikaru has no idea of what to do with Minmay and Misa, which is a really big struggle for him. As when Misa having some trouble with Hikaru, so it's a good thing that Claudia was here to help her out with the relationship issue. Claudia was also with Roy for a while. It's not really the first time. We first see Hikaru with Minmay in the first few episodes, and then we get to see in the later episodes Misa and Hikaru getting to know each other more. After Misa was all disappointed that Hikaru was very late for the picnic that she planned, but he instead be with Minmay for the private time, she left him because he had that scarf that just say H&M. Wow, I just find out unexpected. I thought it was going to be all blank. It turns out it was a decoration. In the final episode, Farewell to Tenderness, an all-out final battle between our heroes and Kwon Zim and his troops. The most insane scene was the Macross fires its ultimate cannon to destroy the Zentradi ship, Kwon Zim's ship. It was so strong that the Macross was badly damaged from it. As Kwon Zim and La Plamise hold their hands while they die. And the series ends with Minmay accepting that Hikaru now be with Misa. That's where the love triangle comes to the climax. It's neither Hikaru choose a pop star who desperately needs him, or Misa who loves him deeply and be with the military. When I first time seeing that scene, I just felt a bit disappointed that Minmay wasn't with Hikaru. But when you think about it, it's really understandable as to why Hikaru is with Misa. Because, Misa has been going through things. Her late boyfriend, Ryber, he passed away, so. But at least the two couples are still friends with Minmay as she walked away. Now here's a bonus for today. Macross, Do You Remember Love? The movie, 1984. DYRL movie was actually my first introduction to Macross. Yeah, I saw the film before watching the TV series. But it's fine because it's no sequel or prequel anyway. It's a retcon. It's basically the same thing as a TV series, but it does have some differences in this version. Minmay is already a pop singer, while Hikaru is already a pilot fighter. And is a big fan of Minmay. And that's where the friendship is already a romantic moment. They met with his Zentradi and get interviewed, But instead of Hikaru, Misa, and KAKIZAKI, there were Hikaru, Misa, Minmay, Kaifun, and Roy. And the thing is, instead of the Zentradi are all look like human with different color skins, they all look like Green Goblin aliens. Look like actual aliens. Like, huh? What kind of weird downgrade is that? Unless they try to make it more real or something. Or make it more accurate. I don't know. In this version, instead of the Zentradi encounters, the proto-cultures, items and stuff, they're all like, oh my gosh, that looks so interesting. Like, yeah, this looks so cool. But in this version, they say, oh my gosh, it's so scary. Oh, stay back. Oh. And they're also feared of the kiss. And the way Roy Fokker dies, it makes more sense because he was trying to defend Hikaru and everybody else. In the ceremony scene, they were like giving out some awards. The TV series where Minmay gives flowers to everyone and gives Misa one, like, no problem. But in this version, she goes to Hikaru. Misa was not very happy about it. But the most scene that has more colorful to it is where the atmosphere and of an abandoned place, Hikaru and Misa just see everything about it. They even try to turn on the computers and look for a lost song that's for the proto-culture. It's Do You Remember Love? Even with the action scenes, that's more fluent than the TV series because, you know, the animation has some more to cutting edge. It's like enhanced. Hikaru and Minmay moments is where they're on their first date and the whole pilot flying around in space. Minmay sings the song of Do You Remember Love after Hikaru gives her the note. And after their troubles, Max, Amelia, and Hikaru join together. The UN Space are going to do their final battle between the biggest villain of all, which I'm not sure if that's Golg or Kwamzin. They killed him, and some awkward staring that Minmay and Misa looked at each other. They're all happy and cheerful when they see each other. The movie ends with Minmay just tap her toes saying 1, 2, 3, 4 and all in English. Yeah, Macross does have some moments when they speak English like yes sir or standby, transformation, attack. That's what Roy and Hikaru only said. And that warning thing at the movie. The voice acting is really good. And did you know that the Minmay voice actor, Mary Ijima, who was also a celebrity, a music star, and that's how she got famous, by being in a Macross series. But to Hikaru, who was voiced as Arihiro Hase, he is really great on voice acting him, just the same as Mary when she voiced Minmay. Too bad he passed away too soon. The animation is so wonderful, the writing is great, the musicals, the love triangle, romance, love, and battles. How the love problems and the love solutions stay well made and make it exciting without any bad decisions at the end. I love both of the animation. In the movie version, they have certain characters as Misa and the others look all like stiff emotions, which it's so awkward to me. But in the TV series, it's more emotion to it. And it can be times they have some derpy eyes and eye pupils that are like big black pupils that makes them look more like aliens, which that's so creepy. The animation is not all that perfect because it does have some few errors in there. The characters, they're just very amazing, especially Hikaru and Minmay. Thanks to Haruhiko Mikamoto made those character designs. Well, I'm gonna give this series a 9 out of 10. Yes, this animation is very amazing to me. If you guys enjoyed this review, be sure to stay tuned for more content in Pender. This is Marie Pender, and thank you for watching.